Good morning, everyone. At the very outset, I welcome all of you to the one-week online faculty development program. I am Moitrey Mayuri Sharma, the coordinator of the program, and I welcome you all once again to this FDP. Going the digital way is not new to us. We were actually taking some steady and gradual steps towards this digitalization, when suddenly this current pandemic that we are actually going through at the moment has given us a push and has literally pushed us to accept the transition from traditional to traditional offline to the online mode of teaching and online mode. And keeping this in mind, we as teachers, I feel that we were facing a kind of challenges when we were taking online classes. So we thought we would arrange an FDP on online class management so that we can overcome these kind of problems, or at least acquaint ourselves as to the issues relating to online class management. So this is the main objective behind organizing this FDP by IQAC of Dibru College. Before speaking any more, I request the head of this institution, our principal, Dr. Buragohain, to give a short lecture and inaugurate the program.
Very good morning to all of you, and welcome to this 5 days faculty development program on a very important issue, as online class management. So, fortunately or unfortunately, we have witnessed COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has disrupted all the sectors, including the education sectors. This disruption has pushed the academicians and the policymakers to shock out a new alternative, and tackling the first one to be shut down, and perhaps they will be the last to get green signal to resume the activities. Even when the institutions when reopens, the things will never be the same again. It will be new normal situation. Apart from academics, online classes are being conducted for games and sports, for yoga, for aerobics, for performing arts as well. And all the academicians, policymakers are of the view that there are possibilities for new education revolutions in the form of hybrid teaching in the future. I sincerely believe that this 5 days FDP would generate awareness in the context of online class management, which has gained special importance for the domains of academic development. Thank you very much, and wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let me straight away proceed to the first session, ICT-based pedagogy. Our resource person for today's session is Dr. Pranjal Buragohain. Dr. Buragohain was a first-class, first-rank holder in his bachelor's degree, his master's degree, and also in his B.Ed examination conducted under Dibrugarh University. He joined the Department of Education as an assistant professor in 2009 and has till date. In the meantime, he completed an ICSR project as project director on emotional intelligence as an associated variable of academic achievement of the postgraduate students of Dibrugarh University. He has been providing consultancy services, which is a free launch, to the adolescents of different education on different educational and emotional issues through positive psychology interventions, and has covered almost 1 lakh adolescents throughout the length and breadth of the country in the past 7 years. He has also been organizing positive education intervention camps for research and service purposes. An interesting aspect of a versatile resource person is that he is also a theater artist. He is a playwright, director, and also an actor, and has staged a number of shows and plays in different parts of the country. Now, even though we can mention more and more about him and his contribution to academics and society, however, I think I need to put a full stop to his introduction and hand over the session to him to start the session. So over to Dr. Pranjal Buragohain. Sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Let me start the session.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Dibru College, Dibrugarh, for organizing such a relevant program, FD program, especially on online education management, evaluation, etc. I would like to thank Principal Dr. Zitu sir for giving the inaugural, the introductory speech, and also for organizing this program, and definitely for inviting me to deliver a speech on this very relevant issue. I would like to thank the organizers, especially Moitriva, the coordinator of this program. So let me start. So my part is ICT-based pedagogy. First of all, I would like to welcome the participants, maybe from the different colleges, faculty members from the different colleges, universities, maybe students. Okay, I'm so happy. Let me start. Okay, this is on ICT-based pedagogy. So I think I needn't say much on what ICT-based pedagogy is and how to learn these things, how to use these things, because this is now a necessity, academic necessity. And we all have learned how to use the Zoom, how to use Google app, Google Meet, how to use other things, Skype, how to utilize the online platform, digital platforms in teaching, learning, management, evaluation. Now we are familiar, because now this is no longer an academic lecture. This is an academic necessity, because as this is necessity, as the whole world is, there is a transition from the traditional mode to a very different mode, not very different, but it's a new mode for us. We have not utilized so extensively in our earlier years now, but we have to use it. We have no other way. Anyway, you can learn all these things. We can learn all these things, how to use these apps, how to use Google Meet, how to use Skype, how to evaluate, how to manage classrooms through the use of ICT, and how to do everything, how to manage an institution. Everything can be done through ICT, because ICT is in peak. ICT is used everywhere, anywhere. So I don't want to take much time on these things, because this can be learned by ourselves. Okay, but I have certain concerns. While we are going to use this digital platform, ICT-based pedagogy, online teaching learning, online mode of teaching, learning, and evaluation in education, I have certain concerns. So I want to express these concerns regarding ICT-based pedagogy. And as we know that today we are learning how to use this pedagogy, ICT-based pedagogy, and online digital platform in teaching, learning these things. We teachers are participating, but finally we shall utilize it for the students. Finally, we shall utilize it for the students. We shall apply it for the students, because teaching, learning, education is basically for the students. That is why my concern is the students, the children, the adolescents, the youths. So I shall express certain concerns regarding the youth, regarding the adolescent children, students, while using ICT-based pedagogy, while using digital platform, while using this online platform. Before going to apply online platform, digital platform, ICT-based pedagogy extensively, we must consider certain very special, very significant, very important points. Very important points. My concern is that what are the important points that we have to consider while we are going to use this ICT-based pedagogy, digital platform, online platform, to teach, to educate our future generation? What are the points that we have to be concerned? What are the points that we have to be concerned? What are the points that we have to consider? Okay, let me tell these things. One thing is, definitely we know that though we are talking about the technology, though we are talking about ICT, information and communication technology, digital platform, we know that this is yet to be accessible in our country. An Android mobile, a laptop is not accessible for everyone, all the students. That is definitely a problem. The problem of accessibility, the problem of equity is not possible in this moment. But I think it will be possible. The time will come when an Android mobile will be accessible for everyone, all the students. Maybe government can support. These things may happen. So my point is not that. But at this time, this is not accessible by everyone in our country, especially in a state like Assam. Okay, whatever it is, this is again not my concern. My concern is something different. Okay, now let me come to my concern. That we have to be concerned while we are using ICT-based pedagogy, digital platform, online platform in teaching and learning, especially in education. Education includes everything: teaching, learning, evaluation, management, everything. Okay, now first point. People generally ask me whenever they get time, especially parents and some teachers, other points will come now. Some other points will come. Now, first of all, we have to remember that this is influential. Okay, now come to the students' life, because we are going to use it for the students, for the adolescents. Our students, especially in colleges and high secondary and high school, they are basically adolescents up to 22, 23 age group. They are considered as adolescents. Okay, they have certain very special characteristics in this period. Okay, let us talk about that. First of all, we have to remember that the adolescent brain, the children brain, are reward sensitive, reward reactive, reward responsive. Okay, especially in adolescent period, starting from the childhood period, starting from the birth to adolescent period, up to late adolescent, 23, 24 age, the brain is highly plastic. The brain is highly plastic. Plastic means malleable. Plastic means, if we use the term in science, especially in physics, it refers in this way. What is the nature of plastic? Plastic is like this, that you can give temperature and convert plastic into soft material in malleable form, like liquid, and you can convert it into hard shape by melting it, by giving temperature. You can convert into hard shape. So our brain is like that. Through certain external experiences, education, through kind of certain experiences, you can make the brain malleable, you can make the brain liquid, and you can convert into certain hard shapes. That is why brain is plastic. And this plasticity is very high especially in childhood and adolescent period. In adolescent period, plasticity is in peak, especially in some very important regions of the brain. The plasticity is in peak. In this period, if we provide certain negative kind of experiences that we do not need, we do not desire, if we provide certain kind of experiences to the brain, then it will harm, it will influence the brain. Number one. Okay, what kind of experiences may influence the brain adversely? We have to know that. First of all, I have told you that brain is basically reward sensitive in adolescent period, especially in early adolescent, in later adolescent also. Brain is very much reward sensitive. The reward brain is highly active. We need certain rewards. Okay, now what are the sources of these rewards? Rewards may come from different backgrounds, from different elements, from different activities and experiences. Like if you are getting a social recognition, that's a reward. If a student is getting praise from the teacher, is a reward. At the same time, riding motorcycle in a very high speed is again a reward for me. At the same time, going through certain porn pictures and films is again reward for the brain. Getting friends company is again a reward. Having an experience of a kiss, hug is a reward. Involving in chatting in social media is reward. Involving in games like FIFA, like PUBG is reward for the brain. So everything is rewarding for the brain. Remember, the reward brain is highly reactive, sensitive, and responsive in this moment. And these are the sources of reward. I'm telling you. Okay, now, this reward brain creates a situation of like a two-edged sword. দুইফালে ধাৰ থকা তৰোৱালৰ নিচিনা এটা পৰিৱেশ ক্ৰিয়েট কৰিব. Okay, if you provide positive rewards, then that edge of the sword will cut. If it is used otherwise, then the bad and negative side of the negative edge of the sword will cut. Okay, now uh, when you use ICT-based pedagogy, when you use computer, laptops, mobiles, this is full of certain reward-giving elements, reward-giving things like porn, like games, like chatting in social media. These are the reward-giving and highly rewarding activities, highly rewarding elements of brain. And brain try to receive these elements because these are highly rewarding, because reward brain is highly reactive, sensitive. Okay, this creates a phenomenon where brains start to start a kind of neurotransmitters like especially like dopamine. And dopamine, when this satisfies the dopamine effect in brain, the dopamine push a person, push an adolescent to repeat the works again and again. If once I have played PUBG, there is a dopamine effect, feel good environment, kind of feel good sense, and the dopamine will push to repeat the same thing again and again. If you use alcohol, if you have use alcohol and tobacco substance, the dopamine effect will be there. Brain will be happy. Brain will be pleased. Then brain will push you to repeat the things again and again. And this phenomenon is highly very influencing and intensive, especially in adolescence period. Okay, now when we are providing ICT-based pedagogy online platform, we must remember that the adolescent brain is highly rewarding, and they will search for such kind of rewards. And I'm adding the first point. This is influential. A point will come later on. Is there any mechanism of controlling adolescents, disciplining adolescents while they are using digital platforms? Is there any mechanism? Is there any solid way of management? Is there any digital disciplining while they are using Android mobile, ICT-based pedagogy, online platform, digital platform in education? Is there any mechanism? The answer will be almost no. That is why using Android mobile, using laptop, using digital pedagogy is always rewarding for them, not because they are learning. It is rewarding for them because they are getting certain kind of sensation to the reward brain. They are getting these things in the form of games. They are getting these things in the form of kind of social media, chatting in social media. They are getting these things kind of teaching, kind of gossiping in Android mobile, especially by using social media. So these are the things which are providing them a kind of reward in brain. Because whatever we are providing in the name of education, name of teaching and learning, this speech I'm delivering you, this is not so rewarding. This is not so influencing for the reward brain, especially for adolescents, because they do not have the capacity of self-regulation, the capacity of self-management. We have this capacity. We can manage ourselves. Whenever we go to shift to a bad side of the mobile, we immediately control us, manage us, and we divert ourselves to a good point. Now, I'm giving this lecture. If there are adolescents, they may use this moment for different purposes, not only to listen me, but most of you are listening me. I believe. Maybe my belief is wrong. Okay, I believe most of you are listening, but for the adolescents, this is almost impossible. I'm repeating it. For the adolescent, this is almost impossible, because at the same time, the Android mobile is consist of two things. Number one, this is knowledge. The knowledge is coming, the information is coming. At the same time, there are so many sources of giving reward to the brain, giving sensation, pleasure to the brain. So this is almost, I'm telling you, vulnerable. This is vulnerable. And if this is vulnerable, then we have to remember that this vulnerability is highly influential. So we have to think certain different ways of using digital platform. I'm telling you my concerns. I said later on I shall provide certain ways. Okay, this is one. Now, come to the next point. First of all, I have told you that the point is that this is because of the reward sensitivity, reward sensitive to adolescents. We have to use digital platform, digital media in a very, very managed and disciplined way. So we have to learn the discipline and way of management before utilizing, before using, before applying ICT-based pedagogy, digital platform in education, in teaching, especially for the students, especially for the adolescents. Remember it. Okay, I'm telling it because I'm facing it. I have been facing it. Maybe all of you are not facing. Maybe all of you are not experiencing such activities. How this is adversely affecting the adolescents because there is no digital disciplining, no digital management. Only in the name of pandemics, only in the name of ICT-based pedagogy, we are allowing them to use digital platform, use Android mobiles, laptops, and it is definitely making them vulnerable for the bad side of the technology, and this is influential. Remember. Okay, next, management of the students. That is very big point, as I have told you, because we do not have such managing mechanism. I'm using this platform now. I'm delivering a speech, but I do not have any kind of control on you. I do not have any kind of management on you. Whether you are listening me or not, whether at this time you are using something else or not, whether this time you are using social media or not, or any kind of things that you may use, you may do, because I do not have any control. For example, if I am a teacher and you are students, I have no control over you. I have no control over you. So disciplining them, managing them. Tomorrow there will be a session, maybe may not be tomorrow, there will be a session which is management. But management and institutional management students, something for different. But managing them when they are using Android mobile is something different. Managing them in a classroom, managing an institution, so information systems through ICT and ICT, it's a different thing. And managing them, disciplining them in using mobile, in using Android mobile, using laptop, using internet is something different. So my concern is that. Okay. No. So there will be so many points regarding management, regarding disciplining them. So let me certain very important points. Number one. So what are the times, or what are the points where, when, and where we can use this ICT-based pedagogy or digital platform, especially online platform? Okay, there are certain points that you have to remember. Number one, that is I'm going to tell you regarding sleep. As I have told you, in this period, especially in adolescent period, the brain is in a reorganization period. The brain is under reorganization, reconstruction, reconfiguration. Especially, I'm telling you, the very important part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex is under construction, under organization in this period. And what are the things that may harm prefrontal cortex during the period of organization, during the period of construction? What are the things? If we go to the neuroscience, then we shall find certain very important things. Number one is sleep. Sleep is very important. Sleep is important for the whole life, but especially in this period, sleep is very important, especially to organize the prefrontal cortex, because sleep adversely affects if it is dissatisfied. Sleep adversely affects the brain construction, especially the prefrontal cortex, when this is unsatisfied. Okay, now why am I telling about sleep? Because Android mobile or laptop is directly connected to the nature of sleep. Okay, now let me tell you what the sleep is. What does sleep mean? Okay, sleep is not just taking rest. Sleep is not luxury. When the adolescents are sleeping more, we used to say that, are you taking rest? Aram koriso. Aram koriso. We used to scold in this way. But my point is, sleep is not luxury. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is a necessity, and such necessity that it helps in organization, construction of the brain. Special, very special parts. Now, why am I telling this in ICT-based pedagogy? Because sleep is connected with these devices. How? Because sleep is dependent on light. I'm repeating it. Sleep is dependent on light. Sleep phenomenon is basically controlled and managed by a hormone, which is known as melatonin. And I'm telling you, melatonin is very much reactive and responsive to light. Melatonin is very much reactive and responsive to light, especially screen light. What does screen light mean? The screen light means computer screen. Screen light means the screen of Android mobile. This is, I'm telling you, that melatonin is highly responsive and reactive to light. And I'm telling you, this is especially screen light. So for all the lights, see, when we secrete melatonin, when there is a flash of melatonin, then we feel sleep. Means we sleep. If there is a secretion of melatonin. When the level of melatonin decreases, we feel kind of fresh and we awake. That is the phenomenon. And this is somehow controlled by a kind of hormone which is known as melatonin. When melatonin is controlled by kind of light, it is influenced by light. Okay, that is why in the earlier years when the sun set, there was no source of light and we used to sleep. When the sun rises, then there's light and we used to awake. We used to arise. That was the phenomenon. Now there is sunset, but all other sources of lights are coming out. Android mobile is coming out just after sunset. Laptop is coming out. TV is coming out. All the sources of lights are coming out. If so, the sources of light are coming out, the melatonin is suppressed. If the melatonin is suppressed, the sleep is suppressed. Now I am telling you a phenomenon. That most of the adolescents who have an Android mobile, they have sleep deficiency. Why? Because they are accessing screen. Because of the accessing of the screen, they are accessing light, and light is suppressing melatonin, and suppression of melatonin is decreasing the quality, the time of sleep and everything, and it is adversely affecting the organization of brain. I'm telling you. Now, if you use this Android mobile and online teaching every night, every day, then there is a negative. We have to remember how to use it, how to utilize it, especially without harming certain phenomenon like sleep, like appetite. Even this is influenced appetite also. Even this is related with so many other things like stress hormone, cortisol hormone. It increases the level of cortisol. So many things are there which are directly responsible for the using of screen time. So some other things are also there. That is why we have certain very kind of limitations, kind of certain disciplines. When we offer a plate of food, even then also we provide certain kind of limitations. Remember, without limitations, you cannot allow a child and an adolescent to use kind of anything. Even you cannot allow a child to use a chocolate without setting certain limitations, because they do not have the capacity to self-regulation. They do not have the capacity to self-management. They learn this capacity to self-management and self-regulation when this is externally provided. We learn to manage ourselves when we are externally managed, when we are externally disciplined. Everywhere, everything. Even let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. For example, we want to teach how to brush teeth. When a child comes to the world, he or she doesn't know how to brush the teeth, the importance of brushing the teeth. But we provide certain limitations, we provide certain rules, we provide certain ways, structure to clean the teeth by using brush and paste. Okay, now see the phenomenon, how this discipline has been taught to a child. When a child comes to the world, when the mother has seen that the teacher coming out, then the family will buy a small toothbrush, a small paste, and and used to brush the teeth by the mother. One day the mother will uh, catch the hand of the child and touch it, and then they will brush the teeth together. And one day mother will release the situation. What will he say? See, what will she do? She will bring the brush, used paste the paste, then she will provide the toothbrush in the hand of the child, and she will look for the situation. She will dictate, they use it, do it. And one day she will again release it. One day she will just tell him or her that the brush is there, toothpaste is there, and go and clean the teeth. One day she will not do that. One day she will just ask, have you cleaned your teeth? One day she will even stop to ask. If you are an youth, if the mother will ask you, if a mother asks you whether you have cleaned the teeth or not, then I shall feel ashamed. I shall feel kind of embarrassing. Why are you asking? Am I a child? Are you thinking that I'm a child? So this not happens. But see, how does the situation develop? It was externally controlled. It was externally provided. It was externally given. In the same way, if you are allowing them to use an Android mobile, if we are allowing them to use a laptop, if we are allowing them to use kind of digital platform in teaching and learning, have we set certain kind of limitations? Have we set certain kind of regulations? Have we developed a quality of self-management and self-regulation so that they can regulate themselves? They can manage themselves? The answer is no. The answer is no. There is no way of educating them for a digital world. There is no school, there is no classroom, there is no family who are exactly teaching a child for a digital world. Teaching to use Android mobile is not teaching someone for a digital world. Remember, teaching to use MS Word, teaching to use MS Excel, teaching to use Zoom app, teaching to use Google app, Google Meet is not teaching someone to use ICT-based pedagogy or digital platform or the digital medias. Teaching means teaching in a regulated way, teaching in a managed way, teaching in a self-managed, self-regulated way, teaching in a controlled way, teaching in a disciplined way. That is the most important. Whenever anything comes, a new machine is coming, so we train the personals to use the machine along with the ethical issues, along with so many ethical issues. We teach them. But whenever an Android mobile is coming, which is so influential, are we really teaching? Are we really educating them? Are we really educating them self-management, self-regulation, whether they are using this influential device? The answer is no. The answer is no. My point is, if you are going to use digital platform as medium, as the platform of education, the first thing is to educate them in a disciplined, to educate them to use such mediums, such platforms in a disciplined, regulated, and managed. That is the big point. And without this, we just cannot afford. We just cannot afford because the reward brain is highly sensitive. They will use it otherwise, because this is influential. We cannot play with the thing which is so influential. We just cannot play with a medium which is so influential. We just cannot play. This is not a joke. We just cannot play. If it is only to provide information, I have no objection. If it is only for the information, for the transmission of information, I have just no objection. But remember, what is the necessity of information? What is the necessity of information? What is the necessity of such knowledge? Knowledge is less important in the life. Knowledge is less important than the values, the ethics of life. We basically concern for the life. We are responsible for the life. We are responsible for a good life. And knowledge is not the only indicator of a good life. Knowledge is just a very small part of a good life. Just a very small part of a good life. So in the name of knowledge, in the name of information, we cannot afford to be such chaotic in the name of digital platform. I'm telling you, we just cannot be so chaotic. And I'm telling you, what is happening in the name of digital platform, what is happening in the name of online learning is just chaos, nothing else. I'm telling you, that's chaos. I have so many examples, but now I'm not going to give you the examples. If you just open the social media, I'm not telling you these things. Now even so many chaoses are happening. If it is I'm using for the adolescents, remember at the same time so many chaos may happen. If you just open the social media, you will feel the chaos. It may kill a person. So many gossipings are there that a person, a healthy person, just you travel the social media once and come out by being sad, by being depressed. I feel so. Sometimes I feel that we shouldn't use this, but you cannot because of the reward brain. Because the reward brain will put you, use it again and again. Dopamine phenomenon will put you again and again, and every time you will come out by depressive. Every time you will come out by depressive. Again, you cannot just stop it. Why? Because the reward brain, and it influences, and it influences adversely. I'm telling you why the rate of depression is so shockingly high. What are the sources? I'm telling you, one major source is this the digital platform, the social networking sites. So many persons are in depression because of this. Okay, that is one point. That is why we have to learn first how to discipline it, how to manage it, how to control it, how to make it regulated, managed. And we must teach them to be self-regulated, self-managed, especially while they are using social media, they are using digital platform, they are using online medium, etc. But this is difficult. This is difficult because the nature of the brain is unlike that. The nature of the brain is unlike that. Because the brain is highly reward sensitive, because the brain is highly reward responsive, and you cannot just cut the brain. At the same time, the most important part of the brain, that is which is prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for self-regulation, decision making, time management, future planning, and this part is under construction, under organization. Means they just do not have the quality of self-regulation. They just do not have the quality of decision making. They just do not have the quality of self-management and future planning. And just imagine, a person is using Android mobile who do not have the quality of self-regulation, do not have the quality of self-management, do not have the quality of future planning, do not have the quality of emotion control. So what will happen? This is vulnerable. This is dangerous. So this is important. So no, I will not make it so long. One very important point. Most of the people are talking. They may talk in this way that the load of the teacher is decreasing now because ICT-based pedagogy is there. Students can learn information from the online medium, from the Google, from so many sources are there. Informations are available. I'm agree. Informations are available. So many learning can happen from this online book, from digital platform, from ICT. I'm agree. I have no objection. But there is a but. If we go through the very biological humanity, the human conditions, the human strengths, the human qualities of life, then the things are different. We have certain biological strengths, but certain organic characteristics that we use to love each other. There is love. We want to be grateful. We are altruistic. We are hopeful. These are the organic strengths, the organic qualities of life. Okay. Can we just develop these organic qualities of life by using ICT? The answer is no. Answer is sharply no. We cannot just train organic human qualities, organic human strengths by the use of ICT. We can just exchange information and knowledge. The very basics of humanity is unaddressed in ICT-based pedagogy, in digital platform. The very basics, the organics of humanity is unaddressed. I'm repeating. The basics, organics of humanity is just unaddressed. So how can it be addressed? How can it be addressed? When you are using ICT, digital platform, ICT-based pedagogy in the name of education, at the same time, we must remember that there are certain organic and biological qualities that we have to increase, that we have to build, we have to strengthen. We should not forget that. We should not forget that. Now, how is it possible? How is it possible? Okay, if you go to a human organic emotion, a biological emotion, for example, love. What are the properties, common properties of love? You will see that in love, there is a chemical synchrony. There is a physical connectivity, a physical synchrony. When we fall in love, maybe romantic love, maybe parenting love, maybe motherly love, maybe love of friends. In all the loves, you will find certain common characteristics. These are, we want to be physically connected. We want a physical synchrony. Number one. Number two, there is a chemical synchrony. There is a chemical synchrony. When there is a couple, one girl and one boy, they are in love, they have a similar chemical phenomenon in their body. Similar chemical phenomenon. And that is the chemical synchrony. A similar chemical phenomenon because both are in love. Both are in love. They are feeling attracted to each other. They are in love to each other. They have a similar chemical synchrony and they want to be physically connected. There is a need of physical synchrony. In motherly love also, there is, if the child is loving mother, if mother is loving the child, there is a chemical synchrony. They have similar chemical phenomenon which is attracting each other, and they finally get a kind of physical synchrony, a physical connectivity. I'm with my friend for a long time. I have not seen my friend. I'm meeting him. I have seen him. So I want to touch him. I want to hug him. There is a chemical synchrony. There is a physical synchrony. Without this chemical and physical synchrony, can a biological emotion may exist? Answer is no. Answer is no. So this chemical and physical synchrony, in all the emotions, there are certain biological conditions, biological characteristics. And without these biological characteristics, that emotion, that strength cannot just arise. So this biological condition, this biological touch is a necessity for this organic biological emotions, for these organic biological characteristics, attributes. Okay, if we are using ICT, then we are talking about this. My work is decreased. Now I have no such work because I have provided I can evaluate students from my home because evaluation medium is Moodle is there. I can manage them from my home. I can teach from my home. But this is just nonsense. Nonsense in the sense because the very organic characteristics, very organic qualities of life cannot be just addressed. Cannot be addressed. I'm telling you, I'm not so much concerned about information. I'm concerned about a good life, because the sole purpose of life is to make the life better, not to make life so informative, not to make life so knowledgeable. Knowledge is necessary because we want to make life better. We have somehow felt that the knowledge is somehow important to make life better, but knowledge is not our goal. Our goal is our life. Our goal is our life. Our goal is the humanity. So when you are using ICT, online digital platform, your responsibility is increased. Means if you are using ICT, you are bound to be more and more organic. More and more organic. You are bound to be in high touch. I'm telling you in one sentence, high tech needs high touch. High tech needs high touch. Higher the technology, more the digital platform, you should provide more and more organic and high touch. Otherwise, this will be influential in a negative way. Otherwise, this will be influential in a negative way. So I'm telling you, high tech needs high touch. If you do not have time to provide high touch, if you do not have time to be more organic, you just do not use ICT. Do not use ICT because it may be harmful otherwise. That's one point. So I'm not going to tell so many things because I have some experience of giving lecture during these days, especially in webinars, and I have found that this is very difficult to attract the listeners for a long time. Even I have attended some seminars and programs also. I have seen that really this is very difficult without getting physical touch or without providing physical influence, because the physical influence is very less. This organic influence is very less. That is why I'm not going to take much time, but I'm going to repeat the things again. This is summary. Okay, first point that we have to remember that ICT is influential. ICT is influential. This is neither good nor bad. If it is for the good, this is influential for the good. If it is for the bad, this is influential for bad. That we have to remember that. Second point, the brain is basically reward sensitive, especially in adolescent period, especially for the youth and children. This is reward sensitive. And the reward sensitivity is like two-edged sword. If you use for the good, okay, no problem, then it will be satisfied. If it is used for the bad, then this will be harmful for the bad. This will be influencing, highly influencing. And I'm telling you, the reward sensitivity basically comes from these devices, mobile, Android mobile, laptop. And there are so many things, including games like PUBG, Free Fire, including the porn sites, including everything. There are so many sources and elements of satisfying the reward brain. And once we use it, the reward brain will put you to reuse it. That is the challenge. You cannot just stop them by giving moral comment. You cannot just stop them by giving some moral advice, because there will be a biological prompting, and you cannot stop the biological prompting. Remember that there is a biological prompting, and you cannot just stop the biological prompting. Okay, that is the thing. And I have told you some other effects also there, which may be influential, like it harms the level of depression. It affects the level of sleep, which are finally responsible for the construction, the organization of brain. These things are there. And finally, I have told you that if we are going to use ICT, that we must remember that our responsibility is increased, not decreased. We have to be more and more organic. We have to be more and more physically connected. It needs high touch, high emotional support, high emotional security. Without provide high emotional support and without providing high emotional security, you just do not use ICT or digital platform. That's a point. That is why, as this is so risky and vulnerable, especially in this period. So we have to remember how to educate them, how to train them, how to develop the quality of self-regulation before providing an Android mobile, providing a laptop, providing an internet connectivity. How to regulate them, how to regulate them to self-regulate, how to manage them to self-manage, how to teach them, how to educate them. So there is a strong necessity of educational institutions which are to provide digital discipline, digital ethics, digital disciplining, online disciplining, to teach them, educate them to be regulated when they are using an Android mobile. That is necessity. The management is the most important part. The disciplining is the most important part. Without disciplining them, without setting certain kind of regulations, without setting certain kind of limitations, we just cannot allow. We just cannot afford. Okay, these are the things that which are my concern in using ICT-based pedagogy, in using digital platform, etc. I have given 2 sessions, but I don't want to take 2 sessions because this is the thing. There are certain limitations. Just the name of the sessions. I don't want to take the sessions, but these are the things. You may have certain queries or questions, may have certain suggestions. So I would like to welcome these suggestions and questions, because I'm basically, as a positive psychologist, as an educationist, I feel I'm highly responsible. I feel I'm highly concerned about children, and I have seen the phenomenon what are happening in the name of digital platform, in the name of Android mobile. And I have been experiencing. I have spent so much sleepless nights by talking with them. I have seen so many mothers crying because of their children, because of their adolescents. They are so engaged in games, engaged in other things, that it's almost difficult for them to control, to regulate the children, the adolescents. I have seen these things every day. I have to provide counseling. I have to provide suggestions. I have to deal with so many adolescents that you just literally feel that I'm kind of depressed. I'm kind of tired. So I have seen this. That is why my concern is basically in these things. But remember, I'm not telling you that do not use. I'm telling you that we must have certain concerns. We must have certain concerns. I'm not telling you that do not use it. I'm telling you to remember that this is influential. I'm telling you to remember that the reward brain is highly sensitive, highly reactive. I'm telling you that you have to be more and more responsible while you are using digital platforms. I'm not telling you that this is bad. I'm not telling you this is good. I'm just telling you this is influential. I'm just telling you that if it is used otherwise, this is vulnerable. Thank you so much. I'm concluding. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pranjal Buragohain, for throwing new insights and very unconventional insights of ICT-based pedagogy, excuse me, especially highlighting the adolescent minds. You pointed out to the fact that as educators, we are responsible to educate our adolescent students for a wise and restricted, or disciplined rather, use of technology. And you pointed out a very important fact that although we are marching to the technological era, we need to remember that humanity and human emotions need to be inculcated in all of us. Thank you so much. So can we take up some questions now?
Sure, definitely.
Well, Dr. Buragohain, we have a question. He wants to ask you, how can we motivate students to use digital tool or platform in a controlled way?
Okay. This is not about motivation, because they are already motivated, because there is a biological push. There is a biological tendency. That is why they are already motivated to use digital mode, because digital platforms, Android mobile is highly rewarding for their brain. That is why we needn't provide kind of motivation to use this. But there is a point. That is the how to motivate them to use in a good way rather than the rewarding way. But that is, I'm telling you, that is difficult, because the biology rarely listen the moral science. Biology rarely listen the advices. That is because of the reward sensitive to brain. But what we can do, there is a different chapter. That is a different story. What we can do, we can try them. We can teach them. We can educate them to be self-regulated. We can develop their prefrontal cortex so that they can regulate their emotions. They can regulate themselves, manage themselves, and that's a different story. I'm telling you. But that one point is there: the development of self-regulation quality, development of self-regulation ability is the only point. Then they will be able to regulate themselves, and that's a different story. মই কেতিয়াবা সময় পালে বা কেতিয়াবা চান্স পালে ধৰক মই ক'বলৈ ভাল পাম how to develop self regulation quality, self regulation capacity, especially in adolescence. সেই কথাটো মই ক'বলৈ ভাল পাম, কিন্তু আজি ক'লে মোৰ আকৌ বেলেগ এটা চেপ্টাৰ হ'ব। কিন্তু মই আপোনালোকক এটা কথাই কৈ থৈছো, only one thing, that our duty is to develop the quality of self regulation so that they can be able to use it in a regulated way. And this self regulation doesn't come from outside. This comes from the inside. Means it should come from a brain configuration, brain network. Tenokwa networking brain থাকিব লাগিব, configuration brain থাকিব লাগিব. That means we have to build it. We have to strengthen the brain in such a way so that they can be self-regulated. That's a different story. মই আপোনাক এই কথাটোকে কৈ থৈছো বাইদেউ। Thank you for the question.
Well, I take up another question. Is there any general guideline to make the ICT regulated and desired reward-oriented.
Okay. I'm understanding to some extent. But any kind of balancing regulation. So my concern is basically that, which is your concern, that we do not have such education, such manual, such training, such building, because that is why I'm concerned, so much concerned, because we do not have such way of regulating them, such managing them using the ICT based medium or digital platform in a very balanced way, from where at the same time they can learn the information, they can use it, they can access it, at the same time without harming the life. That is difficult. That is why I'm so much concerned. Because we have not thought about that. We have seen that the time has come, that technology is emerging, and let us use it. Let us use it in a very expensive way. Let us make it accessible. Let us use it. So we have seen that, and that is not wrong point. That is good. But we should not forget the next point also. And we cannot afford to use ICT without considering that also. And that's the point. So, আপোনাক মই ক'ব লগা কথাটো হৈছে আমাৰ নাই আচলতে, নাই কাৰণে মই কনচাৰ্ন, থকা হ'লেতো এইখিনি কথা নকলোহেঁতেন। নাই, আমি ভাবিব লাগে মানে আচলতে, কোনে ভাবিব সেইটো ডাঙৰ কথা। কোনে ভাবিব, কেনেকে ভাবিব পাৰি, কেনেকে কৰিব পাৰি কামটো। But let us join our hand together. Let us share our ideas, and let us develop a mechanism. Let us develop a kind of institution. Let us equip. Let us strengthen our institutions so that we can train them students to develop such qualities. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, we have another interesting question. Why information as knowledge is not a big part of our life? I think information is everything.
Okay, we value information, definitely. We value information. We value money also. We value health also. If I ask the question, why we value information? Why we value wealth? Why we value kind of health? Because we want something better in life, something good in life, and we believe that these are the means through which we can make our life better. So we are generating so many informations regarding COVID-19, because so many informations, definitely these informations are necessary, because we want to make our life secure. We want to make our life safe. The final concern is life. Final concern is not the information regarding COVID-19. COVID-19 সেইখিনি পাই গলো বলে একদম পুরা হ্যাপি আৰু এটো কথা নহয়। The thing is that we want to make our life safe. We want to save our life. जिंदगी सेव करना जा रहा हूं, इसलिए these informations are necessary. So final concern is life, to make the life better. So that is information is necessary, but this is for life. This is for a good life, and we value it because we believe that this will make our life better. আপোনাৰ কিবা মানে হেৰিও থাকিব পাৰে, মানে মোৰ লগত কথাটোত মানে অমিলো থাকিব পাৰে, but this is my viewpoint. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll take up another question. So, don't you think that regular use of ICT tools make a person's brain more robotic than natural human being in the long run? It may affect thinking.
Definitely, I have highlighted this, because I have highlighted when I have talked about high tech needs high touch, because our very organic and the biological things will be unaddressed, because this comes through our biological and physical and chemical synchrony. When we use ICT, and it cannot provide that biological, physical, and chemical synchrony, and without chemical synchrony, we just cannot develop, we just cannot strengthen the very biological qualities of life, and it will finally make people kind of whatever term you have used, robotic. I do agree. I have no kind of objection in your comment. Thank you so much.
What may be the role of psychology or educational psychology in online teaching learning process?
You just cannot use online teaching without taking use of psychology, because I'm telling you that the rate of depression, the rate of kind of mental hazards are increasing, and technology is somehow responsible. I mean, I cannot he clinch it to technology. And technology is somehow responsible. It doesn't mean that technology is only responsible for these psychological difficulties or hazards. At the same time, it is also responsible to make life better. But as I'm telling you, that it has no good or bad, but this is influential. That is why somehow this is influencing the quality of life by making making us more and more depressive and mentally sick. So that is why, this is necessary. Psychology is necessary. Psychological support is necessary. Educational support is necessary. And without taking the help of educational psychology, we just cannot think about using technology. That's true. I do agree with your comment. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Dr. Buragohain, I'll take up the last question for the day. And the question is, can you throw some light or give suggestions as to how we can inculcate self-discipline in our ICT pedagogy? Another part, how can we make ICT pedagogy rewarding?
Okay. ICT pedagogy rewarding. Okay. Two things are there, as I have told you. This is two-edged sword. The first thing is that so many things are there, like social media, like games, like porn sites, like money chatting. These are rewarding in one way. Second way, so giving reward, giving praise, giving kind of a token, using video, using very attractive video, using some other things which are very close to positive human emotions, are rewarding. So we have to develop certain I'm telling you, giving a speech like me is not so rewarding. So giving a speech, giving assignment, whatever we are doing in the name of ICT pedagogy, giving assignment, taking evaluation, or giving lecture, giving question, these are not rewarding. So if we want to make the ICT pedagogy rewarding, that means we have to develop in such a way which is every time give kind of prizes, kind of rewards, kind of encouragements, kind of motivation. These things should happen in a frequent way. Number one. Number two, we have to develop certain videos. We have to develop certain clips which are directly connected with the emotions, positive emotions of life. So there may be certain ways. Even I'm not literate. I'm not educated what to do, but I'm somehow concerned. Somehow I feel that something should be developed. Something should be used, which will be more and more rewarding than these things. But this needs kind of research. I cannot just give you kind of general statement or general comment, but we need certain very deep research. We need certain very serious research through which we can replace their reward brain from this negative side to positive side. This needs research. This needs serious discussion. I don't want to just give kind of very casual comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Buragohain, for your answer. Well, you said
Thank you.
that lectures are not rewarding, but if someone gives a lecture that you have given today, I think even though not rewarding, that's extremely useful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your lecture, presentation, and I thank all the participants for your patient listening. Thank you so much.